Welcome to Series Planning, the videos where I'll tell you everything that you should know before starting a book, manga, or graphic novel series. My name is Aaron and I like conquering books. And today we'll be looking at a manga called I Am a Hero, which is a horror seinen series that is created by the mangaka Kengo Hanzawa, and they absolutely rocked my world the first time I read it. This series originally ran in the weekly manga magazine, Weekly Comic Con, from 2009 all the way to 2017, and it consolidated itself as a legend in the zombie subgenre thanks in part to its surrealist imagery mixed with gory illustrations that I'm sure will keep some of you at night and that YouTube will hate. I am incredibly excited to be talking about I Am a Hero. It is one of those series that I truly enjoy reading and rereading all the time. So let's go to the chase and start conquering this series. The very first thing that you should know about the series is the story. In I Am a Hero, we follow our protagonist Hideo Suzuki, a 35-year-old man who on the surface appears to be a perfectly normal person. He has a job as a manga assistant and even a girlfriend who loves him and cooks for him. That's nice. The thing is that Hideo has some kind of mental issue that makes him see imaginary people and hideous creatures. He even has this nightly ritual where he puts stuff in a circle around him to protect himself from these hideous creatures. You know, like very regular people do. But even with this mental issue, it's very clear that Hideo has fallen into a comfortable routine. He is happy just fooling around with his girlfriend and working as an assistant for someone else's manga instead of actually looking to create a series of his own. But everything changes one day when Hideo shows up to his girlfriend's apartment, and instead of being received by a hug, she tries to kill him. It soon becomes apparent that she has been infected with something that turns him into a hyper-violent zombie with the only aim to tear people apart. Now Hideo has to figure out a way of how to get out of the city since it has become the stage of a bloodbath as the infection spreads like wildfire, and then how to survive this sudden zombie apocalypse. But now that you know what I Am a Hero is about, the next thing that we're gonna see is just how long this series is. And there's good news and bad news about that. The good news is that the manga has officially concluded and the story has an actual ending. The bad news are that it is a long series. Granted, this series is not like Berserk or Naruto long, nothing of the sort. In total, this manga comprises of 22 volumes, each volume containing around 240 to 250 pages. And of course, these volumes are easier to read than a book since most of the pages are illustrations with a few texts. But if you live in the United States or in Canada, the only way you can get this physical form of the manga is through the giant omnibuses by Dark Horse Manga, which essentially comprise 2 manga volumes into one, making it 11 volumes in total. But yeah, they're a little bigger and a bit more expensive than your regular manga volume, but they're a bit more practical. But just a little bit, because these things are huge. Unfortunately, as of the recording of this video, there's no legal way to read the manga digitally. So you're either gonna have to pony up the money to buy the omnibuses, borrow it from a friend, or find it at the library. Either way, you're gonna be facing around 5,500 pages in total for the whole series, in which if you read 100 pages a day, it's gonna take you around 55 days, almost 2 months to finish this series. Or you know, you can always read it at your own pace, either a little faster or a little slower, there's no rush here. Now, the last thing that you should know about this series is who is it aimed at? Who would enjoy reading I Am a Hero? To that, I would answer that this series is mainly aimed at fans of the zombie subgenre, especially those who enjoyed movies like 28 Days Later or the 2009 remake of Dawn of the Dead that had the fast and hyper-violent zombies. This manga really depicts the zombies as vicious creatures that are fast and single-minded in destroying everything in their path. Honestly, I don't think I've ever seen zombies like this depicted in any other manga or movies. They feel very unique, gory, and at the same time very intelligent but dumb at the same time. It's kind of their own thing, but it really works. Plus, the story really depicts in a somewhat realistic form the fall of society and the difficulties of surviving such an apocalypse in a country like Japan that doesn't have a gun store every 2 blocks. I will also recommend this manga series to anyone that is a fan of the horror genre. I think there's a lot that they would enjoy about this series, either the realistic illustration that really turn gory, giving us a lot of detail about the blood and guts and injuries, or from the story where they not only give us situations that we are afraid not only from the infected but also of the other people that have survived this apocalypse. However, if you're not a fan of the horror or the zombie subgenre, I honestly don't think you'll find anything enjoyable in this series. The story and the illustration go really hardcore on the gore, the blood, and the whole situation of putting people as the bad guys, that it really makes it feel a kind of cynical view of an apocalypse. And again, these illustrations go really hard on the blood and guts, that if you're not into it, if you don't enjoy gore and that kind of things, you may find it revolting. And I do think this is a great manga, it's just aimed at a very niche audience. And that's all you need to know before starting the manga series I Am a Hero. If you find this video useful, please give it a like, and if you still want to tackle this series after all this information, I can only wish you good luck and good hunting. But if this series wasn't your kind of speed, that's alright. Just subscribe to my channel and you'll be notified of more information about other book, manga, and graphic novel series. Other than that, my name is Aaron, and I'll be seeing you all